Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Mahavita Gaur Bhakta
Ki Jai.
Kariva Bhav Harinam Sankirtan. Jai. Advaitam Savadutam Parijanatakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahadanalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Name Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Anchakalpatarubhyasya Kripasindhubhya cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Anukulyasya sankalpa Pratikulyasya varjanam Lakshyasya titi vishvaso Gopratte varanam tatha Atmanikshepakarpanye Shadvida sharanagati. If you want to know where this verse is, it is in Madhya Lila, 22nd chapter of the Chaitanya. And Madhya 22.100, I think.
You have to log in Zoom also. Zoom. Bhaktavali is waiting. Sorry.
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching this story. If we learn this, so Shadvita Ashranagati direction. So we are going to learn this Anukulya Sankalpa Pratikulyasya Varjanam and the Shadvita verse. We go to Madhya Lila, 22 point. So, Madhya Lila, 22.100. You can take the verse if you want to see further. This is a very important Shadvita Ashranagati, very, very important. 6 limbs of surrender. What is the advantage of learning this? Like today morning I was telling about the devotional disposition, proper state of consciousness. This is the one. I'll recite the translation. The 6 divisions of surrender are the acceptance of those things, devotional service, rejection of unfavorable things, the conviction that Krishna will give protection, the acceptance of Lord as one's guardian or master, and full self-surrender and humility. Prabhupada is doing Krishna Prabhupada ki
Jai.
one who is fully surrendered is qualified with the six following characteristics. The devotee has to accept everything that is favorable for entering devotion and practical devotion. So he must reject everything unfavorable. This is also called renunciation. The devotee must firmly be convinced that Krishna gives him protection. No one else can actually give him protection. And being firmly convinced that this is called faith. This kind of faith is different from the faith of an impersonalist who wants to merge into the Brahman effulgence in order to do. Then with the cessation of the person there. A devotee wants to remain always in Lord's service. In this way, Krishna is merciful to his devotee and gives him all protection from the dangers found on the path of devotional service. One important point about protection. Many people think that protecting means Krishna should remove all my problems in life. They think like that, most people. Actually, devotee never prays, remove my problems. Devotee says that in all the problems, we cannot forget you. So, when I am going through the problems, you protect me in such a way that you give me the strength to remember you. And also you give me the strength to face those inevitabilities that will come my way, so that my devotional service will persistently go on. And the fourth one, the devotee should accept Krishna as a supreme maintainer and master. You should not think that he is being protected by a demigod. You should depend only on Krishna, considering him the only protector. The devotee must be firmly convinced that within the three worlds he has no protector or maintainer other than Krishna. Self-surrender means remembering that one's activities and desires are not independent. The devotee is completely dependent on Krishna, and he acts and thinks as Krishna desires. That means that he completely is aligned with body, mind, and words and according to Krishna's will. And the devotee is meek and humble. As Krishna states in 14:15, Sarvasya chaham kritam nivishto bhaktasmriti jnanam apohanam cha vedashya sarvai ahaiva vedyo vedanta kritveda videvachaham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes the abundance, knowledge and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas am I to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of the Vedanta, and I am knower of the Vedas. Situated in everyone's heart, Krishna deals differently according to the living entity's position. The living entity's position is to be under the protection of the illusory energy or under the Krishna's personal protection. When a living entity is fully surrendered, he is under the direct protection of Krishna. And Krishna gives him all intelligence by which he can advance in spiritual realization. The non-devotee, however, being under the protection of the illusory energy, increasingly forgets his relationship with Krishna. Sometimes it is asked how Krishna causes one to forget. Krishna personally causes his devotee to forget material activities. And through the agency of Maya, Krishna causes the non-devotee to forget his devotional service to the Lord. This is called apoha. So why Krishna gives knowledge to one and forgetfulness to another? Many people ask this question because Krishna says, Makta smriti jnana apohanam. So I was studying from various purports. Prabhupada says, jnana means the knowledge to understand Krishna and to attain his lotus feet. And smriti means remembrance of one's past sinful activities which have produced great suffering for us in the past and which we are now making an effort to repeat for the second time due to relapse. And Lord reminds the devotee that it is not good for you. You already suffered before for this. So don't suffer again. Any of you have experience of something you ate which was bad for you, you suffered and then again you are trying to eat that. You get a guilty feeling. Like guilty, who is giving the guilty feeling? So that is a smriti. It reminds us, you got kicked sufficiently now, don't get kicked again. That remembrance. Remembrance, knowledge, he gives remembrance. And what forgetfulness he gives? If some living entity wants to lord over others, if living entity is headlong, eager to enjoy Maya and considers Krishna's intervention a nuisance, then Krishna says, oh really? You don't want me to help you. You want to be on your own. And the Jiva is very adamant. Then he puts a covering between him and the Jiva, so much so that Jiva cannot see him. Just like if I'm driving a car, somebody is sitting right behind me, and I may not even see him. And will be thinking that this car is mine and I'm driving, I'm enjoying, although there is somebody behind me watching. But imagine the same person moves a little bit and comes here. While driving, I'll get to see somebody is there. But if the same person comes to the front seat and sits next to me, I can clearly see, oh, he is my friend. Actually, he's not only my friend, the car is owned by him. It is his car, he has given me. And I am supposed to drive as per his direction. So then Krishna says, Bhaktosime Sakachi Radheshyam Yadadutama. Oh Arjuna, you are my friend, you are my, devotee, so I'll guide you. So when we want Krishna to guide us, we come so close to him, he's sitting next to each other like that. Whereas when we don't want him, he is like this. He's behind us, we don't even see him. We are turned our back to him. We are turned away from him. Like in Hindi, we say 63 is like this. 36 like this. You have seen that in Hindi, right? 36 it's like this, 63 is like this. So instead of facing the Lord, we have turned away from the Lord. So we get forgetfulness. Because we wanted it and Lord provides it. And that is one of the meaning of the merciful Father who lets his son commit mistakes, learn and come back to him. He is kind enough. He never closes the doors of spiritual world to anybody. It's always open. That is his compassion. And even though somebody is born in a demoniac family, the demon has an equal chance like anybody else. Like you can see Prahlad, born in a demoniac family. Bali Maharaj, you can see Vibhishan. All these people became exalted souls by coming to the Lord. Bali Maharaj took inspiration from whom? Anybody knows? Before he did Atma Nivedana? Anybody? Prahlad, correct. He didn't think of his father, Virochana. He thought of Prahlad. He didn't think of his grandfather, great grandfather. He didn't think of him. He only thought of Prahlad. So, from whomever we all take inspiration, we will get remembrance or we will get forgetfulness. So, in US only, one very big billionaire, he had two sons. One son became a drunkard, others, and died also, one fellow, and the other fellow became very, very exalted high court magistrate. So staff reporters asked them, how is it that you became a drunkard to the point of going to die now? The man said, it's all my father who spoiled me, he said. My father was a drunkard. So seeing him, I also got spoiled. One boy said. The other boy said, it's all my father from whom I learned I should not drink. Because I saw him suffering so terribly. After that I learned that I should not do it. Like these two kids, my two sons, one took inspiration in the wrong way, and another one took inspiration in the right way. So, in this way, no matter in what situation we all may be put in, the choice is never taken away. The choice is always there. As you rightly said, Bali Maharaj took inspiration from Prahlad. And Prahlad Maharaj took inspiration from him. And Vibhishan, actually Vibhishan, you will see, he was always in goodness. He had prayed to Brahma that even in difficult situations, let me walk the path of Dharma. Let me always walk the path of the Lord. And let me always walk the righteous path. Because people in this world slip from their standards when some challenging situations come in life. So he had obtained a boon from the Lord, that from Brahma, that I will always remember the right path. So today we will see only the first one, Anukulyasa Sankalpa, accepting the favorable things, whatever is favorable for Krishna consciousness. So I'll make it big. I will. So Muktavanti Prabhu and Mamakarna and all the other devotees, I take your blessings to speak on this. I recently was doing this. I found it immensely beneficial for myself also, and so
Radheshyam Prabhu, are you able to record the class, Prabhu? So
No, here I am not recording. They are recording the thing. The mobile they are recording outside. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let us go to the meaning. See, Anukula means favorable, pleasing. Is it coming properly?
Yeah.
Sankalpa means a firm, determined vow. Making a vow. So, what is the meaning of this? Resolving to accept only those things, thoughts, actions, people, environment, and decisions. 5 things are said. Favorable to my devotion life. So, even before we understand the statement, we need to know that. So, like you see, the path of spiritual life means the first thing is Jiva comes across some Vaishnava in life after many lifetimes. Brahmanda, Brahmita, Parvati, so what is the Bhagavad Gita that the Guru gives? Generally we tend to think it is love of God. Love of God is not avoided. Love of God is already there with the Jiva. Nityasita Krishna Prema, Sadhya Yogamai, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta Karya Udaya. So already the love of God is there in the heart. Just like red hot coal is there, it's covered by ashes. So the Guru gives procedure, plan, idea, program, direction, guidance, this kind of things, by which the Jiva can remove the ashes of another and then be able to experience the love of God, which is like fire. And that is called as beej. That is the beej. That's the seed. So that seed has to be watered, developed. So for that, for example, Sri Rupa Goswami Pad gave 64 principles he gave. Similarly, Sri Prabhupada has given a standing of origin, 4 ways. Very strong Prabhupada institute. In this way, you will find that this is the seed, that we are getting the seed of instructions. If you go to impersonalist, he will give you a moksha seed. How to get moksha. If you go to a yogi, he will teach you some chakra system, and then by which you can get some siddhis, levitation and all those, that type of seed. If you go to a karmi, he will give you karmonmukhi sukriti, which means by associating with those type of gurus, then one becomes a sense and enjoyer in this world. So we are fortunate to get guidance from Srila Prabhupada and his disciples who are Vaishnavas. So Vaishnava gives the seed of devotion to Krishna, which means how to blossom your devotion. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vidaranam. So the lotus of our heart is closed now. See, when the lotus is closed, the fragrance and honey are hidden. Whereas when moon shines on the lotus in the night, because daytime when the sun shines on the lotus, it opens, it's another lotus. This lotus is in the night lotus. What is the color of the lotus? White. It's a white lotus. And the sun is shining. It's like moon is shining. When moon shines, the lotus opens and fragrance comes out. And also the honey in the lotus also is visible. And that is the honey or the bhava the jiva has, which is enjoyed by Krishna. What is it? Nashayami atma bhavasto jnani vipena pasada. So I enjoy the bhava in the heart of my devotee, which is like the honey in the lotus. The heart of the devotee is lotus, and the honey is the bhava. I love. The devotee has some affection for Krishna, devotion for Krishna. So I relish that, Krishna says. So I relishing that, I feel obligated to the devotee for showing me such affection. I fill up the heart of the devotee with transcendental knowledge, Krishna says by that. So similarly, the fragrance of the devotee is what? When a devotee receives the fragrance of Krishna's dust particles, lotus-sweet dust particles, then the devotee develops detachment from all that is material. Krishna Pada Padma Ye Jana Pai, that is the second verse. Which says, anyone who has got the fragrance of the dust particles from Krishna's lotus feet, for him even Brahma Loka, Satya Loka, Dhruva Loka, all these lokas become, palpriya, insignificant for such a devotee. So in this way, that the pollen or the fragrant particles of detachment from all that is material and attachment to Krishna, that is also coming out of the lotus. And these are all happening how? By the cooling moonshine, which is the holy name. That's a comparison. So the holy name, Krishna is the Vrindavan Chandra, and he is giving the holy name. He is actually holy name himself. Moon and moonshine is the same, isn't it? So by the holy names effect, our heart blossoms, and the fragrance of detachment from all that is material, plus the honey of love for Krishna, both are made available to Krishna in the heart of the devotee. So in this way, when one accepts a guru, so I have written a series of procedures what we undergo in this. I'll just show you, so that it will go faster. I can see this. Sorry, here. Let us go. One of the first steps is, why should we at all? Okay, let me show from here what I have written here. See, you will see here, because you are able to see it. So we keep getting suffering in this world one after another, correct now? You will see, for example, the early morning you get up, immediately you have to take a shower and cleanse your mouth. And then while you are dressed, then you get hungry, you have to eat food. When you are thirsty, you have to drink some water. Then for fear of thieves and animals, you have to build a house. When you are tired and exhausted, you need to sleep and rest. Then there is the urge for sex, then get a mate and maintain by hard work, and then protect the mate. For protecting the mate, you fight with others. And then urge for comfort and luxury, then we have to work hard and make money. So, the whole point is, in this world, right from womb to tomb, you can see that there is a lot of hard work. There is a lot of hard work. So, what are we trying to do is to reduce the miseries and increase the happiness. Actually, day in and day out, one problem, now it's cold now, I have to get a sweater now. Then it's hot now, I have to get a fan. Isn't it? Now I have to commute from place to another, I have to get a vehicle. So all these things require what?
Hard work.
Hard work is one thing, but all these things require money. And the money comes to hard work. So everybody in this world has to work hard. So actually it is not bad to work hard, provided if you can work hard and liberate the spirit, eternal spirit from dying material body. That hard work is worth it. Because if I liberate the eternal soul from dying material body once and for all and go back to Godhead, that hard work is a worthy hard work because it's only a one-time effort now. But if I am going to work hard to just suppress one pain, then second pain, then third pain, and fourth pain like this. Not only that, one interesting observation I'll tell you. Like the same sweater which you are all wearing in winter, in summer how is it? Painful. Isn't it? The same hot water. Sometimes people don't want to come out of the bathroom. Hot water is so nice in winter season. You want to take a long shower. The same thing becomes painful in summer. Summer we don't like it. Hot water we don't like it. That means what gave me happiness in one season does not give happiness in another. And it is true. Like the attraction of a man and woman at one phase of life, which is like teenage phase, which is called the dream world. Between 13 and 19, there's a very strong pull and push between boy and girl. The same attraction becomes, boring and painful after 40. When one has 3-4 children, one has to put up a home, one has to bring money, and one wonders, this is not what I wanted, I just wanted enjoyment. So you will find that one thing that gives you happiness at one moment, one time, does not give happiness at another moment. Brahmachari joins the ashram thinking that, oh, I'll be a free bird, just chant and dance, take prasad, relax. Life is going to be all bed of roses. Then after becoming 30, 35, 40, Brahmachari realizes, my Lord, now I have to do a lot of austerities. And with this kind of detachment, I have to practice till the end of life. Then one can find it troublesome. Of course, both Grihastha and Brahmachari undergo struggle unless they put themselves on a transcendental platform, spiritual platform. Spiritual platform, one surpasses the waves of material energy. Then one can be blissful. Nobody will believe he is 70 plus. He is like a young boy, he's like a 20-year-old. He's been getting the flowers, he's serving in the kitchen, serving in the dirty room. And nobody will believe Brahma who has an IT job also, along with running a temple. Isn't it? So the more you are spiritually inclined, life is joyful. So I don't know whether I shared this. Now I have to share everything. Now I'm going to share now. Yeah. Okay. This is what I told you. Sweater dress is pleasing in winter, not in summer. And we accept and reject depending on what gives me pleasure and what gives me pain, isn't it? So I will read this homework to you, 18.38 and 18.37. These two you can read. So happiness in mode of passion means passion like suffering, multiplies desires, increases burning hungry, birth after birth. So proper reaction of purpose. Now, a man, seeing senses drive to see, touch, make, and then pleasing for a short time, and then quarrel, and then sorrow, divorce, and expenses, so many things. In the proper rights, the purpose. Okay, now we are trying to surpass the cause of suffering temporarily by taking to sense gratification. But ultimately, the only suffering purpose is that all these efforts for suppressing suffering ends in old age, disease, and death. Like somebody dies in an airplane crash, somebody dies in a sinking in a boat in the ocean, or somebody dies a natural death due to old age, somebody dies by chicken serpent or whatever. But in this world, our efforts to just suppress the suffering stage, day by day, month ends in old age, disease, and death. Therefore, whole life goes in the above, sorting out our problems one after another by chasing and working hard for one sense gratification or another, getting temporary solutions. So what is Sura life? Asura, Sura, two words are there. Sura means those who have divine assets. They put a full stop to the above accepted, do's and don'ts from the Vedas and attain the Supreme Lord. Purposes. All of you repeat this. Yattadagre Vishamiva.
Yattadagre Vishamiva.
Utopamam.
Priname
Utopamam Satvikam Proktam.
Satvikam Satvikam Proktam. Anandam Prasadajam.
That which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end just like nectar, which awakens one to self-realization, is said to be happiness and mode of goodness. So, in the beginning, like for example, rising early in the morning is a little like poison, it's painful. But then once you take a bath and wear the collecting 12 parts of the body and wear this and then come and chant and dance, then it becomes a very pleasing experience. So the mode of goodness activities, they don't produce happiness instantly. At the beginning, there's a little effort and then the happiness comes subsequently. Whereas in Rajoguna, instantly you get happiness and you suffer for a long time afterwards. So most people want instant happiness or they are ready to wait for the happiness. Instant. That is why people are stuck in this world. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, who is that speaking? Hey, shh. Hey, don't speak in between. Who's that? Who is this? Hey, Braja Prabhu, Haribol, Braja Vijay Achita Prabhu, don't talk. Haribol.
Prabhu, you can mute him.
How to mute? Braja Vijay Achita Prabhu, you are talking, we are all hearing what you are talking about money. Oh, I'm not there. So this is the mute all.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Okay. share the faith. In the pursuit of civilization, one has to follow many rules and regulations to control the mind and senses and to concentrate the mind on the soul, self. All these procedures are very difficult, bitter like poison, but if one is successful in following the regulations and comes to the transcendental position, he begins to drink real nectar and enjoys life. See, although it is true that chanting 16 rounds may be difficult, following 4 weeks, people are thinking whole world is enjoying, why can't we also enjoy like them? Yes, you can enjoy like them and go to hell if you want. You have the freedom to go to hell. But if you want to go back to Godhead, then one has to pay the price and follow the process. And that requires responsibility, discipline. My spiritual master was telling in one marriage lecture, he said, marriage day, people think so many people come and give gifts. To you, people put garland, people give gifts, people embrace you, take photos with you, everything. Maharaj said, is marriage a joyful day? Is it just a joyful day? He said, yes, you are very joyful to be the hero and heroine of the day. But then it's a day of responsibility starting for you. When one enters into marriage, then the responsibility. Similarly, somebody becomes brahmachari, shaves up. I remember when we shaved our first hand, so many people praised us. Oh, you look like a full moon, your face is like a full moon. Why you are telling your Amara Tilak, you had a beautiful tilak, and so many things people praise. That praise is only for a day or a year. Subsequently, it's a life of responsibility and duty. So anybody who wants to achieve anything great in life, you have to be ready to take responsibility. That's very important. Here Prabhu says, what is responsibility? The spiritual procedures may be difficult, bitter like poison in the beginning, but if we are successful in following them, then we can drink the real nectar. Where is it? Verse 2.15. Who knows the famous verse? Yam hina gavayante te boliye. Everybody?
Yam hina vyatayante te purusham purusharishvah samadukka sukham dhiram somtatvaya kalpate.
If we can tolerate the pleasures and pains that come in our life, then focus on Krishna consciousness. Basically, do not bother with the dualities of pain and pleasure, honor and dishonor, summer and winter, victory and defeat, profit and loss. Do not become carried away by these things. Instead, you focus on Krishna consciousness in all situations. So, like Ajendra was being caught by a crocodile in the lake, so he focused on his goal and he attained the Lord. So, Prabhupada says, happiness and goodness entails giving up interest in sense objects, and happiness comes only after some time. To experience happiness and goodness requires practice, sadhana, and control of the mind and senses. In contrast, happiness derived from passion and ignorance is immediate and requires no practice. And then eventually you bring the ocean of suffering. So Asura life means go for immediate problem solving and chase after immediate pleasures. Asura can become Sura when, as I told you, Prabhupada quotes example Europeans and Americans. They all were willing to live a disciplined lifestyle. That's why they are enjoying Amritam now. So from here, it's very simple now. Till now, is it very clear to everybody why are we taking the spiritual life seriously? In essence, this is the most important point. See, any subject you talk about, first of all, the hunger for sati should be created. Without hunger, even if you give a full plate of prasad, nobody will accept. So till now, what I have spoken is actually hunger for the subject. Why should I follow the rules and regulations in spiritual life if it is going to be painful? Like for example, why should a child go to school? Child wants to play, but the mom wants the child to go to school because if he goes to school and then to college, earn a degree, then he'll get settled in a job, then he can survive in this world. Otherwise, playing all day, there's no future for the child. In the same manner, why should a patient take a bitter medicine? Although medicine will be bitter, that will cure the disease, then the patient will become healthy. So if you want to become healthy, take the bitter medicine. That's the whole point. And the bitter, like for example, when I got jaundice during my IIT days, my eyes became yellowish and everything was yellowish and tongue was very bitter when I was drinking sugarcane juice. Is the problem with sugarcane juice or problem with my tongue?
Tongue.
The tongue. Because tongue is jaundiced tongue. But you keep on drinking sugarcane juice, in next 2 to 2.5 months or so, my this thing was gone. Jaundice was gone. The same bitter medicine became very delicious. So I told the doctor, don't give me just one glass, give me 2-3 glasses. Then he said, now your disease is gone. He said, you have developed a taste now. It's not that sugarcane became sweet. It was always sweet. The problem was not with sugarcane juice. The problem was with the stomach disease. So in this way, you will see that what appears bitter now in the early stage of spiritual life will become delightful with increasing years, provided one has properly practiced it. So that is why we are taking the spiritual life. So be clear about the goal of human life is to go back to Godhead. To go back to Godhead, one should always remember Krishna and never forget him. For a conditioned soul absorbed in sensory education, it's not possible to do the two things. Always remember Krishna. Therefore, Acharyas have given us many procedures to remember Krishna. Therefore, one should accept the Vaishnava Guru and abide by his orders. Such a Guru teaches the disciple the process of sadhana bhakti. There are two stages in that, Vaidhi and Raga. So Vaidhi means rules and regulations, and Raga means love, practicing with love. Like Prabhupada gives example, two examples he gives in that purport. If you read the same series of verses, one is a child doesn't want to go to school. The mother nevertheless gets the child up and bathes the child, dresses the child, and because mother is saying, the child may go. Sometimes the mother says, "But if you go to school, I'll give you Cadbury or something." And child agrees to go to school. So the mother initially pushes the child, and after one week Cadbury stops, the school going continues. Isn't it? Similarly, you will find people come to ISKCON because prasadam is attractive sometimes, dancing is very attractive, festivals are attractive. The beginning. And over the period of time, you will see that there is much more serious business here. Studying the Shastra and taking the chanting, getting initiated, and let people understand those things. Although they were a little painful in the beginning, they take it very seriously, and then they become committed. So, Vaidhi means what comes from Vidhi, rules and regulations. You have to follow the discipline. Like you see in the traffic in the road, there is a traffic policeman stopping the vehicles. It's a rule. Otherwise, either there will be a jam or there will be an accident. Similarly, you will find everywhere there is a rule. School going is also a discipline. In this way, medical procedures are there to follow. That's a discipline. Spiritual life also is a discipline. Guru gives the medicine of the holy name. He gives the patya. Patya means that it should be given up. Like a typhoid patient cannot eat oily items. Like that, we have to give up those 4 sinful activities. And that is Vaidhi Bhakti. But if we keep doing Vaidhi Bhakti, we will come to Raga Bhakti, which will be joyful. Vaidhi Bhakti is done based on order of Guru and injunctions of Shastras. Raga Bhakti is done based on spontaneous love for Krishna. So, Prabhupada gives another example in that purport. Typewriting. Typewriting, initially when I went, I remember A, S, D, F, G, F, L, K, J, H, fingers sometimes go between the keys. Initially it was so difficult, but after practicing lower higher and other things, now we can close our eyes and type it now. We call it blind touch. So bhakti also initially will be a little strugglesome. But if we sincerely practice, eventually it will become joyful. So love for Krishna is hidden in our hearts, but it has to be revived by Vaidhi sadhana bhakti to the stage of Radha bhakti, when a disciple will perform all devotional activities joyfully, without any need for external motivation or order or supervision. Now, a question is raised by His Holiness Shivaram Swami in his book Shuddha Chintamani, asking if somebody is enthusiastically getting up in the morning and jumping his way to the temple hall and dancing and singing, is he a Radha Bhakta? You ask Shri Gopal Prabhu. Gopal Prabhu, is he a Radha Bhakta or is he a Vaidhi Bhakta?
Vaidhi Bhakta.
Yeah. Why? How do you say? But here it is said Radha Bhakti means you are ecstatic, you are chanting, dancing, you are preaching, distributing books, and everything is there. Symptoms are there. Still, why do we call him in the Vaidhi stage, not in the Raga stage? What is the measure? So then he explains, Prabhupada says in Nectar Devotion in another place, Raga Bhakti starts only after complete Anandavritti is over. That means one has come to Nishtha and beyond it. So that means, can a devotee in pre-Nishtha stage be very enthusiastic? Is it possible or not?
Possible.
Why possible? In Bhajana Kriya itself you can be enthusiastic. It depends on how much gratitude you have for the Guru, how much respect you have for the Guru's instructions, and how much you are good at discipline. If somebody is good at disciplined lifestyle, when they come to Krishna consciousness, it's a very good advantage for them. So it may be based on their disciplined lifestyle. On the other hand, if somebody is not disciplined, very casual and careless in life, that becomes a great enemy in spiritual life also. So then they have to become disciplined. They may consider discipline to be a punishment. Isn't it? In the same manner, somebody is not sufficiently grateful to the spiritual master, Guru is giving diksha. Still these people don't care for the Guru's instruction. That means ungrateful fellows. So ungrateful fellows struggles in spiritual life. But one who is grateful, the reserve of gratitude is so much that the devotee can go on and on for the whole life also. So even pre-Nishtha stage also, you can be very enthusiastic in spiritual life, quite possible. Even from Sadhu Sangha. And like honestly speaking, if you ask me, already I feel I have received the biggest gift in my life in the form of association of devotees. To remain within the four walls of ISKCON, under the umbrella of Sri Prabhupada's lotus feet, and Acharya's lotus feet and the devotees association. And we are grateful for being given daily we get prasad, we get Prabhupada books to read, we are living with devotees, nice Lord is giving darshan and nice festivals. And I feel that I am already in spiritual world. If I am sent from Goloka to Goloka, that's an added bonus it is. So if I feel happy like this for what I have already received, then even before you reach Raga Bhakti, you can be very joyful. Like medicine, if you are taking Ayurvedic medicine, some people twist their face, oh, the medicine is so bitter. But if you know that it is curing your disease, then one knows that although it's little bitter, it is good for me. One understands that. In this way, so while sadhana bhakti austerities are a little painful for the conditioned soul, owing to Jiva's desire to act independent of Krishna, being dragged by Maya's allurements. Nevertheless, the first principle, Anukul Sankara says that. Okay, so I continue tomorrow. Third point already I told you. So this Manjari Yuri, what he is doing now, Shankar. And this is Bhagavad Gita. Those two are procedures. Amongst all the Navavida Bhakti, chanting the holy name is foremost. The two with this here will develop some respect, attention, and seva bhava. So you all know the 5 potent forms of devotional service. And you know 3 and 4 give the Anukul Yasa Sankalpa. Okay? Siddha Bhakti Dhammarena song gives very good this thing. That's all, this much only, this is what is most important. Other things, that's all. So enthusiastically come forward and accept all the limbs of devotional service started by Sri Prabhupada. Radheshyam, right?
Good come.